Okay, time is money. And what we're going to talk about today is PantoneLIVE and the visualizer as an alternative to matching spot colors. What I've done here is I've used one of our x-rite OEM devices, the spectral proofer, to make a profile of certified proof on the Epson, which has extended gamut, orange, green, and violet. We have a contract proof that we've made using EFI software, and we've measured it on our Pantone certified medium. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the profile that we created using the I1 profiler and the I/O table, and we're going to load it into a Mac workstation where the designer is going to be able to kind of see how we match Pantone spot colors. So we're going to shift over to Macintosh. We have an orange we want to hit. We're going to try to look it up in the Pantone guides while I'm going to do it in Pantone Visualizer with the PantoneLIVE library. So I'm going to give Lacey a coded and an uncoded guide. One thing that's not really well known is there's a lighting indicator if you have a newer Pantone guide. So this will show you if it's two patches, you are not viewing the Pantone colors in the right version. So if you look at Lacey's, it's definitely not the same color as mine. So this is an expired guide. What we're telling you is you don't have to buy 20 guides every 2 years. We want you to buy PantoneLIVE and a set of guides that are current. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, as we go underneath here, you can see it turns to the same color because I'm viewing in the right conditions. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I've got to worry about the file that Lacey wants to get out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the cloud, and I'm going to sync my PantoneLIVE library. So right now I have 41 different Pantone guides that I can utilize at any time. So you're going to see some are substrate driven, like virgin carton offset board, and some of the traditional guides that we have, like coated master, pastels, solid coated. So we're going to, now that we have those loaded, we're going to use those in an environment that's going to be very much more productive than the traditional spot color matching methodology. So I'm going to load the Pantone Visualizer. While I'm visualizing it, I'm going to have Lacey try to find some spot color. So right now I have the Pantone Visualizer open. I'm going to measure a sample of the customer's color. I could plug in a Pantone color or measure using the x-rite exact. I'm going to connect to my exact, and I'm going to measure an orange. The exact is going to feed the visualizer, and it's going to tell me what the closest Pantone color to what I measured is, which is 165C. I'm going to bring 165C over. Lacey, I want you to try to find 165C while I'm doing this. I've already found the Pantone color. I have a profile that I made on the Epson, and I'm going to now see if I can hit that orange color with my Epson proofer. So I'm going to load the ICC profile, it's a CMYK profile I made. I'm going to open it, and it's going to give me feedback. The visualizer is now going to say out of the 2040 Pantone coded colors, I can hit 91% of them to less than 1 delta E. I'm going to plug in my 165, and it's going to tell me I can get to 0.3 delta E of this spot color. So now you found it, now let's find uncoded.
Okay.
So we're going to let Lacey do uncoded, because Lacey's got a problem with this job in orange. So now that I know I've got it, I want to be able to create my own custom Pantone guide page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I know I can hit the orange. So now I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to do a dependent standard. So I'm going to pick 4 substrates that I have in my shop. I'm going to pick a 4th being the craft brown paper so you can see the difference. So here's 4 substrates. I'm going to call it 165, number 16. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to save it. It's going to make me a PDF of a fan deck page with the master Pantone color as well as the dependent standard simulations. So I now can see how close I can get to that 165. What I also want to do is, let's see how close an uncoded is to a coded. So I'm going to print this out on the Epson, and now I'm going to hand that to a customer with a lighting indicator attached, and I've now made them a custom simulation for the Pantone color I'm going to do. Now I'm going to take and say, okay, well I have 165, but the customer also wants uncoded. So I'm going to go in my cross-reference tool, I'm going to take the 165C, and I'm going to say, based on Pantone, go search all 40 guides that I've got loaded and find me the closest match. So Lacey's now matched the coated and the uncoated, and they're not very close to each other. Could I have a better match? Should I start printing out swatches? Should I start trying to visualize it? No, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, go get my digital Pantone solid uncoated, tell me what my 165 is close to, and you're going to see that a Pantone 021 uncoated orange is only 2 delta E difference, and a 3564 is 3. I'm at 5 if I did 165 to 165. So a common problem for designers is they go to 165 coated and uncoated and they wonder why they don't match. It's because we're doing this lab and spectrally, we're not doing this in CMYK, we can get a much closer match. So now I know I should go to get 3564, and that's going to be a closer match to my 165. So now I've printed out the color for the customer has approved it. Now I want to go and say, I'm going to print this out and I want to certify that the color's right. So this is a $99 plugin, the Pantone Visualizer and PantoneLIVE. I'm now going to jump to a $750 a year model that's based on our ink formulation technology. So I'm going to go to colorCert, Ink Room Toolkit, which is also PantoneLIVE aware. I'm going to go find my PantoneLIVE library that I want to use, which is my coated master. I'm going to go get 165, and I'm going to say OK, select that, and I just printed a swatch off on my Epson. Am I going to match? So I'm going to measure the swatch that I printed on the Epson, and it's going to tell me yes, I'm a 1.24 delta E. It's a very close match. Now, a common problem with grand format, textiles, and wide format is how do I make that spot color good and how do I keep it good? So what I'm going to use is our build finder, and I'm going to take the same ICC profile that I made for the Epson, and I'm going to utilize it now to find a better match. So I'm going to open the profile, and it's going to show you my CMYK breakdown as well as my LAB breakdown. I'm going to ask it, because I'm at a 1.13 without doing anything based on the EFI Pantone digital technology that it has in its RIP, but I want a better match. So I'm going to say minimize the delta E, and I'm going to go to a 0.27, and I'm going to plug these lab values now into my spot color table in my RIP, and now that 165 will be fixed from now on that substrate. So I've just fixed my problem, and I've certified it. But now I still, from Lacey's standpoint, she's saying, well, I still don't see my color properly in my Illustrator file. Well, because we have the Pantone Visualizer and the plugin, we also have a viewer. So I've calibrated my monitor with an x-rite Display Pro, and I'm now going to pull up my plugin in my viewer. Hang on, let's get my little mousey here. I'm at the edge. And we can see now, based on the calibrated, that we do have a 165 orange in our Illustrator file. We can now take the plugin and replace the Illustrator orange that we have with 165C from PantoneLIVE, and this file will be fine all the way through to print. So what we've done in a matter of a couple minutes is fixed a spot color issue that could take a day or so, back and forth, printing out swatches. We've done it in one shot, one pass, using the PantoneLIVE Visualizer and the colorCert Ink Room Toolkit in a live production environment. I thank you for your time at Print 17. This is Sal Passanisi. Have a great show.